Hi and welcome back again, another Thursday and another episode. This week I have been a bit more productive and I've done a bit more of content planning and I have a bit more of an idea of how things are going to look forward. So I'm getting really excited on how things are starting to unfold and everything that I've got planned. So this week's episode is all about minding your own business, which I feel is really, really important. And this is probably the reason why I started my own business and definitely the reason why you should start yours. So let's get to it. So minding your own business might have a different connotation to you than it has to the person next to you or to me or to your husband or your wife or whoever. But this phrase, I came to know it as a child, and people said it to me in a very loving and endearing way, but to try and say, mind your own affairs. Do not butt into other people's problems. Keep your nose out of other people's business. And this phrase I heard quite a lot growing up. And although I know it was meant well, in a way of every household has their own problems and we shouldn't interfere, kind of like stay in your lane, keep to yourself, don't be nosy. I always found it kind of a feeling of resistance towards it, like mind your own business, like you are not supposed to interfere with other people's business. And now we are in this day and age where everyone is part of everyone's business. The public feels that they have a right to know all of the lives of the celebrities and the politicians. And we feel left out if people do not share their lives on social media, etc. So we are starting to butt into people's lives more and more, whether that is because we want to interfere or because we really actually care and want to know. I think different situations call for different kind of reactions. But as I was saying all of these things like keep your nose out of other people's business, I can already hear my mom and my parents, my grandparents, kind of their voices in the back of my head. But today I'm kind of here to butt into your business. So just bear with me. Don't shout at me and say, butt off, mind your own business. I am going to interfere a little bit. But that is because I want you to take introspection into your own life and say, okay, am I really minding my own business? And it will have a different connotation that you might think. So let's begin. So around 2016, just after we moved to Dubai, I read this phrase in a book, mind your own business. And in an instant, the meaning changed completely. I was apprehensive at first and I didn't like it. And I read it and I kept going anyway, but I didn't like where this was going. It forced me to take a look at my own life. And I was reading Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and he used this phrase. And his meaning was different and the lesson was really profound. So he said, mind your own business, meaning we cannot be dependent on government to support us. We cannot be dependent on family to take care of us. And we cannot look at employers to keep taking care of us. Whether we are working for the money that we earn or not, no matter whether you like this situation or not, no matter what your background is, your story or your circumstances, what he meant with this phrase is you are responsible for you. You are not what happened to you. And the only way your story changes is if you make a change. And you need to take control of your life and stop blaming external factors. You need to start minding your own business. And although he is a very rich but powerful business owner and entrepreneur, he was focusing a lot on business. But this is very applicable to the rest of your life as well. So especially now in 2020, if there was ever a time in the world where this started to ring true for people, it is now. So I bet that you never in 2019 asked yourself, if a health pandemic were to hit this world, would my job be safe? I mean, we didn't even consider health pandemics, everything closing down, flights being grounded, not being able to travel or see family or have a wedding or even have a dinner party in your own home. But if I were to lose my job tomorrow, would I still have money? If I were to get divorced in a year's time, would I still be able to take care of my kids? Or would I be depending on a partner? Am I depending on anyone other than myself for the money that I earn? Now, this might sound very harsh because we all depend on others, but I'm a firm believer in I depend on you because I want to, because I like you, and we are in a position of codependency, not necessarily I have to be dependent on you. I have seen many situations where, especially wives, stay in a marriage where they are not happy because they have to, because they do not have an out. If I were to get a divorce, would I be able to take care of myself and my family? I need to go get another 9-to-5 job. I can't do that. I need to take care of my kids. So let me rather stick it out in a loveless marriage where I really do not like to be. So today, I am asking a very hard but true question. Are you minding your own business? Are you minding your own financial affairs? And I'm saying this because you need to at least have a plan to generate your own income that is not dependent on government, that is not dependent on your partner, that is not dependent on an employer even. Because so many people are being laid off at the moment and they are dependent on a salary. So am I completely free of this myself? No, but I do have a plan and I'm busy implementing that plan and putting money away and savings to get myself in a position where I am completely free of an employer, a husband, government, etc. So I'm not saying that you need to contemplate a world domination to create this empire building. I'm just saying that you need to have a plan to take care of yourself. And when I started to change my perspective and moved to Dubai and got out of my comfort zone, everything started to change around me, including this. I was used to living in a country where debt was absolutely the norm, and banks and shops and any institution possible of lending money would throw themselves at you. And it seemed completely normal to go from one job to another and work yourself up. I came from a family where my dad worked for one company his whole life and then he retired there. I did not come from a family where you start your own business. I come from a family where stability is considered good and large international firms is considered good and loads of degrees is considered good, and choosing a company with pension and savings and medical aid or medical insurance is good. And now I am in a position where I am looking to grow my own business and be more dependent only on myself and less dependent on husband and family and government and everything else. And with this in mind, I considered spending my life in corporate and working myself up the ladder. But after moving to Dubai and changing my perspective, I felt freedom and I wanted more freedom. And a few months into this, I started recording a few videos. And I absolutely never published them because I thought my voice sounds funny. I don't look right. What would people think? And then slowly, quickly, which is very true. It felt quickly, but it was a very slow process. I learned that it's not good enough to say, I'm not good in business. I'm not business savvy. I don't have any skills. I don't have anything to offer. What I'm telling you now is, if you were to have a conversation with me, even if it's just a quick 30-minute conversation, I promise you that I would be able to help you find at least 5 money-making skills or ideas that you already have, that you literally have today. And if you can Google all the strange weird things and spend time on social media and spend time searching for makeup tutorials on Instagram, I promise you, you can Google how to start your own business. So now I can already hear some of you saying, but I love my job. Great. You are definitely one of the few that absolutely love your job. But what are you doing on the side? Is your job really as stable as you believe it is? Do you spend time maybe creating a hobby or investing the time you have in creating educational resources to sell? Do you maybe invest time in buying investment properties? Because if you were to lose your job today, where are you going? What is the plan B here? So the second thing I can hear some of you say is, but I don't have time. Do you really want to make time for this when it's too late? Do you think you would make time if the food on your table depended on it? And we live in a really uncertain time. And with that said, there really is absolutely no better time to work on something that you love, creating value for the world around you, and making sure that if anything goes south, you are not dependent on anyone for income. You may use your 9-to-5 job now to pursue what you really want to do or create additional funds and income, but it really is time to create, just at least think about it, on creating that additional source of income, that when you go on holiday, when you go on leave, when you, God forbid, something happens and you get sick, that you still have an income coming in. So after reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, I decided to do the following. So I decided I want to have my own business. So I did try my hand at a few of them before, but never really moved forward with that. I did and didn't. I had a lot of issues with resistance and kind of stopped myself before things really got going. Number 2, I decided that I do not want to be dependent on any employer's schedule to tell me when I can go on holiday and when not. I went for an interview and they gave me the salary and I thought it was okay. They a little bit lowballed me after I said what I wanted, but it was okay. And then they said, it's 6 days a week. And I felt my heart sink. I was like, what do you mean 6 days a week? They said, no, it's not working 5 days a week. It's working 6 days a week. And I thought, well, what if we want to go away for a weekend? They're like, well, then you have to put in leave for that one day. And that was when I was in my heart of hearts already kind of committed to doing my own thing, but still decided to go for interviews. And right then and there, I really decided that, you know what, I do not want to be dependent on any employer's schedule. Number 3, if anything were to happen, I want to be able to scale my income depending on my needs and not be stuck working in my 9-to-5 to make someone else rich without the option of doing more if I wanted to. So this was something that was really important to me, because although I'm not a millionaire and I'm not creating this massive amounts of income yet, I feel like I have a formula that can immediately help me scale. So if I, heaven forbid, do not have the luxury of spending more time with my family and spending more time relaxed, I can spend more time on this and really scale this quickly. Number 4, being able to spend time with my daughter and my family whenever I want. Like, yes, I've got client calls. Yes, I've got a lot of stuff to process, but I work that around my schedule. If my daughter's relaxed in the afternoon, maybe watching some television or sleeping a little bit, I work. If I can't do it that day, I do it in the evenings. I completely have freedom to choose when I want to spend time with my daughter and my family. And number 5, sharing my skills with the world and at least having the option of reaching my potential. So this never really felt like an option for me working for Boss. It felt like I was always capped at what their job description was and what they wanted me to do, and not necessarily where I felt my potential was and really growing it and reaching more people. Even working as a full-time lecturer, there was always this hesitation of, no, you can't work for other firms, you have to get permission. I was like, well, if I get a really amazing gig, I really want to do that. And if I feel like I have the time to do both, why not? They're like, no, conflict of interest, which is a business minding their own business. They are taking care of their own business by saying that, which, all respect, I understand that. But that is not in the best interest of me and my business. So I started my business for freedom of time, for freedom of creating my own money and not deciding what that cap is yet, and the freedom of choice on what I spend my valuable time on. So I struggled with consistency. I have been through the rough times. I have been crying on my couch, not thinking that this is ever going to work. How am I going to do this? What's my next step? But I still, in my heart, know that I'm strong enough and that in the end, I'm responsible for my own success. I'm not being stopped by a boss or by a government or by a spouse. I am responsible for my own success. And if I do not take that and do not make the very best of that, then that's on me. That's on no one else. And if I never stop, I will never fail. If I do stop, that is when I start failing. And this is such an empowering space to be in, knowing that I'm responsible for my own life, for my own outcome, and that I'm minding my own business. And I'm really hoping with this blog and podcast and video and all of the content that I'm sharing, I'm hoping that I'm helping others to do the same. I'm hoping that you can really start minding your own business and start moving that ceiling and start breaking that glass ceiling and hopefully just removing it completely and just keep pushing yourself to new boundaries and new possibilities. And for a few seconds, just quickly imagine that anything that you've wanted to do in your life, like think of the weirdest, wackiest thing, like be a millionaire or be a billionaire even, or have that really big house on the beach, or buy a house for your parents. I would love to buy a house for my mom or my dad as well. But that's a dream for me. Well, now it's a goal. But think about any dream that you have at the moment. And I can promise you there's someone in this world who's done it. I can promise you there's someone in this world who has created that dream for themselves. So saying that it is impossible, I want to ask you, why not you? Why not now? Why are you hesitating, and what is your resistance and the questions that keep you in your comfort zone, that you keep telling yourself, the stories that you keep telling yourself? Because I'm telling you that this is your life. You are responsible for it, for your outcome, and minding your own business is so empowering to you. But when you let your own light shine, you start allowing others to do the same. So this is me shining my own light and hopefully helping you, give yourself permission to allow your own light to shine and to really reach your potential and help others in the way, because that is why we are here. We are here to add value to others, and not only for you and what you can gain, but to share it with the world. So that is a wrap for today. Make sure to mind your own business, spend time on what really matters, which is family and friends and personal growth. And whatever success looks like to you, Make sure that you work on it, but that you are always kind to yourself. And give yourself freedom. Freedom to live your life to your rules and what you want to do. That's it from me. Hope you have an amazing evening, day, night, weekend, week, holiday. Thank you for spending this time with me. I really appreciate this. And if anything has rung true for you or has resonated with you, please tell me. I would love to know, and I would love to know what more content I can do next. Hope you have an amazing day and listen to the rest of my podcasts. Bye.